Well, good Friday morning, and it really is Good Friday as we head into Easter weekend. Thank you for being a part of our show, the Real Monica Adams team. Always hard at work for you. And we also want you to find that balance as you celebrate with your family. And today we're going to talk about putting family first. And sometimes friends are just like incredible family, right? We're going to talk all about that. I'd love to know what your plans are as you head into the weekend. And what I want to do is try to mend problems that might be going on with your family today. So this is kind of a bonus life coaching session. Let's just put it that way. We've got Cultivating a Vision coming up on April 3rd, and I do life coaching weekly with a lot of my clients, maybe bi-weekly, maybe once a month, maybe once a quarter. But I also know that there are some people who can't afford life coaching, but are struggling so much mentally, spiritually. As we head into a very faith-based weekend, I want to make sure that you've got some hope, a glimmer of hope, even if it's that, to try to mend what's going on with some of your relationships. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I've got news you can use, and we've got a handful of those stories nationally and locally that are affecting you. And then, of course, we take you in to the weekend where he is going to rise for us. This is the day that many of us are going to remember Jesus laying his life down for us. And wow, the most unselfish act that's ever taken place. And we want to remember that. Remember what the weekend is about. It's not all about the Easter bunny and the eggs. Yes, we'll have fun with the kids and the grandkids and the godchildren, etc. But let's remember what this season is all about. Before we get to all that, let's do what the weather. And we've got our aspiring meteorologist, Beckett Moore. I've got the little Easter bunny behind us.
Yeah, it looks great. Good morning.
So you're off school today, which I think a lot of kids are, right?
Yes, I
When,
am.
when do you go back?
We go back on Tuesday.
On Tuesday. Okay. So are we going to have a good weekend Easter forecast? That's what we're all hoping. So most of you, I mean, there might be some kids going to school. I think the majority, though, of kids are off. So we might not have an actual bus stop forecast. But today is a day to get out and exercise, take the dogs for a walk, etc. Right? It's going to be a gorgeous one.
For sure. So today we got mostly sunny skies, 50 degrees here in the morning, and then as we go into the afternoon, 75 degrees and mostly sunny. Now, as we go into early next week, we are watching a severe weather threat. There's a 30% chance threat for St. Louis. Although that may sound small, that for the day 4 outlook, which is Monday, is pretty a big severe weather threat. So we need to watch Monday closely. For right now, it looks more like a straight line damaging wind threat, maybe a little hail. Not as big of a tornado threat, but we still have to iron out the details, and I'll have more on that on Monday. As again, we're watching a severe weather threat from St. Louis all the way down through Springfield. Now, our 7-day outlook again today, Good Friday, 75 degrees, low of 58. Then, as we go into tomorrow, high of 75. Now, there are going to be a couple of showers around in the morning that should clear out by the afternoon. So, we will have a couple peaks of sun, but those showers will be dominating there in the morning. 53 degrees as our low. Now, into Sunday, if you remember, we were looking at it earlier in the week. We did have that rain chance there. Now, right now, there's a lot of models are showing that rain chance to the north of St. Louis. So for right now, we see a couple of showers around, yes, but that looks like it'll go to our north. So that is good news. Still mostly cloudy for your Sunday, but 80 degrees. It is going to be very warm. That has definitely upticked from our forecast earlier in the week. For your Easter, 80 degrees, though, it will be cloudy and a couple showers cannot be ruled out. Then as we go into Monday, high of 76, we're going to again have that threat for severe storms. And then we are going to get a lot colder as we go into Tuesday, mostly cloudy, 58 degrees, warming back up as we go into Wednesday and Thursday with lots of sunshine. Now, I just wanted to include this here at the end of the slides because this is the ensembles, which is a bunch of models put together showing the chance for cloud cover on eclipse day, which is less than 2 weeks away. Here in a couple of days, it'll only be a week away. It's really coming up on us. And as you can see, down through Cape Girardeau for St. Louis, down through Cape Girardeau, we got less than 50% chance. It's really iffy. A lot of models are showing cloud cover. A lot of models are showing not cloud cover. So for right now, it's 40 to 50% chance. So we're going to have to watch that closely again. If there's cloud cover around, you're not going to be able to see it. It'll still get dark down there in Cape Girardeau, but you're not going to be able to see it. And that's the main thing. And then down into Arkansas, where I'll be around here into Hot Springs. We have pretty much the same thing there. Again, very iffy. We'll have to iron out the details as we go into next week.
And let's talk about the scientific side. So what made you all decide to go to Arkansas?
Just because this event is so rare, I mean, we're not going to have another total solar eclipse until 2045. So, we really just thought we really needed to see it. It's also just going to be a fun trip down there in Arkansas. Hot Springs is definitely a very cool and scenic place.
So we'll continue to be checking in with Beckett before he leaves. You're leaving next Friday, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, and so both Beckett and I are looking to do an interview with Don Ficken. Don is affiliated with the St. Louis Science Center, so we're trying to iron out details where we can sit down, talk to him, go more in depth. I heard something really interesting this morning about the last time we had the solar eclipse back in 2017. And again, people thinking they can wear just any kind of eyewear, or they thought they were making their proper boxes. And all of these doctors that are treating people with cornea issues and retina issues, from a scientific standpoint, Beckett, tell them just how dangerous it is for them not to be wearing the proper eyewear.
Yeah, it is very dangerous because you're just looking at the sun. Like I said a week or two ago, when you're looking at there, it's just like if you looked at the sun any other day, but you're staring at it. That's the main thing you want to look at. So you want to have that protection so your eyes don't get hurt.
Right. So we're going to check in next week and we'll see if that cloud cover has changed any, because obviously a lot of people are making plans. And actually, all of you that are popping on, let me know, since we know Beckett's going to Arkansas, where are you going to be watching it? All these people are having their different solar eclipse watching parties. And so we are going to have what time period that we should be paying attention to for that day, Beckett?
So it'll come into Arkansas at 1:45 and leave Arkansas at 2. So I think into Missouri it should be 2 to 3 when that's happening.
And then in our particular area, what percentage are we expecting to have as far as total?
I'm not too sure about that. I think it's 90% or something like that. It'll
Okay.
still be nothing like totality, but it'll still be pretty cool.
And I read something last night that said that the animals start to stir and that insects all of a sudden become quiet because they're so confused, right?
Yeah, I did not know that, but I saw that as well. It's
Yeah.
very cool. Yeah.
Very, very cool. Again, if you're new to our show, we have had Beckett as a part of our team for the last several months, and we just absolutely love him. I know all of you do as well. If you ever want to ask any questions to Beckett, get those questions to me in advance, and I'll pass those along to him. But we're going to have a really good time as we move into something that we're not going to see for another 20 plus years. So, Beckett, thank you so much. Enjoy your time off today and into this weekend. And please do me a favor and tell your family I said Happy Easter.
You bet. You as well.
All right, that is aspiring meteorologist Beckett Moore. To all of you, let me say good morning. It started off with Sean Fitzgerald, and then Mid America Spine and Rehab, one of our newest sponsors that we have had on for the last few weeks. He will be back with us, and we're going to talk about posture, by the way. How are you sitting right now? Are you at work? Are you listening to our show to give you a little positivity to start your day? Are you off like a lot of people? I think you have maybe a 3 or a 4 day weekend, and you get hopefully some time to spend with your family. We're going to talk about posture. Do you sit like this in a chair? What does this all do to you? We're going to talk with Dr. Sean Neary on Monday with Mid America Spine and Rehab. So thanks for being on bright and early this morning, Sean. Good Friday morning to you, Marilyn and Julie Fabian. Good morning, Leona. Lindsay Egan, good morning to you. And Lisa Frumhoff just got done with her chest and tricep workout, feeling the pump today. We had a great workout. Good morning to Stephanie. Church day. Cooking for my cousin and for Easter. The price of ham at Schnucks is outrageous. We're going to talk about the price of gas in just a second. That would be a bummer if it's cloudy, Julie says. Yes. Good morning, Julie Purcell, everyone. Lindsay says, I have heard St. Genevieve is having a bunch of activities for the eclipse. I'll be at home with my kids. So yeah, a lot of people are traveling towards Cape Girardeau. There will be certain areas of Illinois. I know that Randy's Rescue Ranch is having the total shacklips of the heart. So, his long-term horse Shack, which was just a part of him. He lost a part of his heart, he said. If you know Randy Grimm, you know he's an incredible human being. If you never saw the story we did with Randy, it's one of my proudest, I would say in my career, but definitely one of my proudest stories that our entire team had a chance to have their hand in from last year. It's a really beautiful piece. So if you haven't seen that, I would love for you to check that out. But he's doing something special there at Randy's Rescue Ranch on the Illinois side. And everybody else, if you know of one that you think is really really unique, let me know. One of our sponsors, Defiance Ridge Vineyards, Chuck Gillentine, talked to us Wednesday during Wet Your Whistle Wednesday about what they have planned. And a lot of places, they'll be giving out those safety glasses, and they know that they're the right ones for you as you're coming in. And of course, it's limited. I think the Defiance Ridge ones, it's like maybe to the first 100. Same thing at Randy's Rescue Ranch. But I'd love to know where you think some of the most unique ones are and anything special. I talked to a woman that owns Sunset Overlook in Columbia, Illinois yesterday, and she said they're going to have something. If you go over there, tell them I sent you. It's a beautiful place, 5 acres. What a cool story. They've had that location since 2018, and we're working on possibly doing something out there for their 6th anniversary. They're going to have moon pies. I thought that was kind of cute. Leona said, I'll watch from my yard in St. Peter's. Going to Bike Stop this morning to get my bread. Julie Fabian, congratulations again yesterday. Wasn't that a fun show? It really has been. A lot of people told me in emails and texts yesterday that that was their favorite Mobile Monica so far. And it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger from there. I'd love to do a full-blown in your neighborhood show. That's going to take a lot from our team, and maybe even add some extra people on and maybe do like a little freelance thing where they help for that day. But yeah, I'd love to shine the spotlight on your particular area as we bring Mobile Monica and move on to wherever you are. And I want to do both sides, by the way, of the river, Missouri side, the Illinois side. And it's not just in our immediate area, because we have people who watch states away. If you have sponsorship and businesses that want to bring our show to showcase your area, well, reach out to myself, my team at info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com. Let's have some fun together. I'm also talking about, I just kind of want to sprinkle it out there. How many of you would come away with me and my team for a retreat, maybe on a cruise? Maybe we go hiking. I still love the idea of going to Machu Picchu and standing on top of Machu Picchu in Peru. And from what I hear, is one of the most spiritual experiences that you can ever go through in life. Do we take a team that goes to that? Do we go to Cabo San Lucas together? Do we go to Montana? Do we go skiing together? We're working together. I had a really long, incredible meeting the other day about not just a day retreat, not a weekend retreat, because we've done those. And I want to do another one of those here in our immediate area. And then we build off that. Maybe we do a 4-day getaway, a 7-day getaway, a 9-day giveaway, getaway, not giveaway. And that probably would happen sometime in early 2025. So there's a lot of work to be done behind the scenes for that. But I want to know, would you come along? If so, maybe you start telling me what areas would you like to go, and we kind of take that and we mold it, because I really want you to have a big part in what we do on this show, what we do with this brand. Julie, by the way, let us know what you end up getting there for lunch or breakfast or whatever you get a chance to do. You're going to enjoy the bread, but trust me, you're going to want to spend some time there. Relax and do us a favor and tell Jody we said hi. Good morning. Have fun this weekend, Beckett, Kathy says. Jill, good morning to you. Beckett's mama's on. Happy Easter. Kathleen Morris, good morning. Rose, great color. Well, thank you. My shirt says, I don't sweat, I glow after our workout. Good morning. Great color. Karen says as well. Thank you. Happy Easter weekend. Well, Angie, how are you? Good morning. She's been dealing with a knee surgery and recovering. I hear you're almost close to coming back, though, Angie. I love that. Happy Easter weekend. We've got a furniture place on. That's interesting. Where are you from? Lisa from Hoff. Totally awesome workout today. My triceps and my chest are on fire. Anyone looking for a trainer? Monica is truly awesome. Well, thank you, Lisa. And yeah, we're actually talking about building upon that. Do we go back to Kirkwood, where I personal trained on Wednesdays and Fridays? I think a lot of people miss that. Miss the Today Show kind of set right there on Kirkwood, right at Jefferson and Kirkwood Road, right there at the corner. We would work out and then we would do the show right there at that window. So I'm not opposed to that. We could go back to that, but let's just see what kind of response we have. Right now, we're doing our virtual workouts with our 6 a.m.ers. Good morning. Where can I get the Eclipse glasses? Well, you can look online. You can order them. I don't know if they can get them to you in advance, but you have to make sure that they are the proper ones, that they have the safety aspects. So don't just buy any of them. Look deeper into that, Cindy. Let's see. Michelle's dropping a lot of things for you. I did talk to Julie yesterday at Sunset Overlook. Yes, Julie. Julie Purcell talked to Julie at Sunset. I understand that you sent information to her. I did as well. We had a really nice talk, and I hope that comes to fruition. Taking in the fresh air this morning on my walk today, watching the eclipse from my yard. We should be in totality. Linda, where are you from again? I forgot. Are you from Bonne Terre or in that area? Lisa, you can have pickleball on the trip too. Yes, that's a good idea. Linda says Lindsay says, me, I would love a local or closer retreat. Someday I'm in for a getaway. The local one we are working on to be out at Stone Soup Cottage in the summer, by the way. I'd love to go on a retreat, but I'm saving for a 2-week trip to France this year. That will use up my budget plus more. So the trip would not be this year, Linda. It would be in 2025. That I know for sure because there's a lot of work. I will not just throw that together. That will be a big thing. So save up for 2025. And Linda, I saw Eclipse glasses at Walmart yesterday. Okay, good to know that they're still available. I bought mine at Hallmark when buying some birthday cards, Leona says. I love how the community comes together. And that's kind of the theme of today is friends that become like family and the importance of family. I'm definitely in for a getaway, Crystal says. Cruise, Cabo, Jamaica, mountains, or even local as well. The local is a guarantee. Well, actually, I should say they both are because we're going to put it out there, right? It's the all aspect of the law of attraction and drawing things to you and having the vision. So I sat down with a wonderful travel agency and I want to support local and a wonderful woman that supported us when we were in the hard times of law enforcement in St. Louis. And she made this really cool Back the Blue sign that sits proudly on our front steps. I want to support her. She lost her husband. She's gone through some really rough times. And I saw the leap she took to go into the travel agency and something completely foreign to her. And, obviously doing that without the support of her husband around anymore. And I was like, you know what? Let me pick you. And that's what I love is paying it forward to people. And it warmed her heart. She introduced me to this wonderful woman in Texas, and we're talking behind the scenes, putting that together. Can you do a gentle workout for this old lady? Karen, of course I can. Yes, I'm northeast of Bonne Terre. Okay, that's what I thought. Linda, by the way, reached out to us and had some really cool ideas about doing a mobile Monica show from the Bonne Terre mines. You know how many people love to scuba dive that? How cool would that be? We could all scuba dive together. Good morning, Anne. I would love a retreat. Thank you for a great workout. You're welcome. Angie says, I'm ready to talk about what's coming back and what that would look like. Of course, I would modify. And for all of you who have never trained with me before, I don't want you to think that my classes are all for the extreme over here. No way. We have people who are beginners and we have people who are extreme athletes. And so we go from modifications to leveling up. So never be scared. I heard that in my career. 25 years I've been a personal trainer. About 20 years ago or 15 years ago, I heard someone say that they felt like they had to get in shape to come to my class. And I was like, oh my gosh, is that what's been holding you back? Heck no. That is not at all what's needed. So we will look at that, Angie. Of course, you're limited after coming back from a knee surgery. Ready mentally. I've been practicing my plank. I also want to talk about extra sessions and classes. All right, we will definitely do that for you. If you're just tuning in, 7:18, it's the Real Monica Adams Show. I've got to give you some news you can use. And we've got some national news. We've got some sports news. We've got some local news. And then let's get into the heart of our talk today. How is your relationship with your family? And I want you to be real. I want you to be raw. I want you to be authentic. Don't hold back because things that you say, you might be really shocked of how it helps the others that are watching this morning, the community that has come together. They may need to hear exactly what you're talking about. We're going to get into all that when we return. Envita Health and Wellness, where you can feel your best both inside and out. Envita isn't your typical med spa. They're a multi-specialty medical spa and wellness center serving St. Louis and its surrounding areas. They have ketamine for mental health and pain, IV therapy, medical weight loss, and aesthetics treatments. As board-certified anesthesia providers, Envita can ensure that their advanced treatments are provided safely with minimal to no pain. So let Envita take care of you. Call 314-394-0950 to book an appointment or online envitahealthandwellness.com. All right, welcome back. Thank you again so much for being a part of the show. And Linda, I completely understand. She just said after my France trip, it may take me a few years to save up for another big trip. She says she's a senior on a fixed income. I get that. Look, I want to go to Europe so bad. I've never been. We were going to possibly go in the fall to Italy, and unfortunately that fell through. But I'll say it's fortunate because I always believe that something's taken away for something better to be put onto your plate. So we weren't meant to go this fall, but we will be going soon. We are going to, I was finally talked into going to Cabo San Lucas. I haven't taken a vacation in the last year and a half. It will be a year and a half at that point, but a girls' trip in July and then a fall trip with my husband and Dr. Sarah Franco and her husband, Brandon, a dear friend of mine who owns Mark Anthony's. He and his fiance, we're all going to go together with some other friends. It's going to be a good time. And it's that balance. We talk about, again, friends that become like family. And sometimes people have a strain on their family and they actually have to lean into their friends because they are more like family to them. I completely understand that. Let's start with this. I want to say happy Easter weekend to each and every one of you. And do remember what this weekend is about. A little somber again as we go into Good Friday and the longer services that take place on Friday, and really immerse yourself in that. If you are going tonight, or maybe the final fish fry of the Lent season, we go into Saturday and then Sunday. Where are you spending Easter? That's what I want to know. Will you be with your families? Will you do an Easter egg hunt? Are you excited about maybe a new tradition that you're going to bring into your families this Easter? Let me know. But happy Easter to each and every one of you as you celebrate the He is risen, right? The fact that Jesus laid his life down for us and then just wowed the world by what he was able to do on Easter. And then here we are, and we think of the connection that he had with his Father, the Father, and all of us, and what we get to do with our families. Remember, I'm never pushing religion on anyone, but that's my belief. And I pray every morning and I pray every night for my family and our world, and that we find our way to more kindness. As we go into Easter weekend, I want to help mend your souls and your spirits and your minds if you're struggling at all. So we'll get into that. Let's do some news you can use. First of all, I did not like hearing this, but AAA is saying that gas prices are already on the rise. And it's not stopping anytime soon because we are just getting into spring. So, normally as we go into spring break, gas prices go up. As we go into summer vacation and travel, gas prices go up. I mean, I've already been shocked. My husband has an SUV. How many of you have SUVs or bigger vehicles? It costs $93 to fill up his tank. That is the most money I've ever spent at the gas pump in my life. I looked at that and went, are you kidding me? No wonder why people are trying to say, I'm going to ride a motorcycle, or I'm going to get a trike, or I'm going to ride my bike to work, or whatever, because they can't afford it. I mean, you think about the young kids trying to buy a car these days and then try to afford that and they're on. Well, you think about seniors in a fixed income, then you think about our young kids that are, making minimum wage, if a little bit more than that. They can't afford those kind of prices. That's just unbelievable. So, yeah. Have you been frustrated? So regular plus premium, again, over $4 here in our area. And our area is usually lower on the spectrum. I saw $6, $7 and up on the West Coast. And now I hear that from AAA that it's just going higher and higher. So again, feel free to weigh in on any of that. Staying with the automobiles, do you have a Kia Telluride? Kia Telluride, 400,000 of them are being recalled. And by the way, several years. So if you have a Kia Telluride, or you know somebody that does, you might want to give them a heads up to look deeper into this story. You will, of course, get a notification for the recall. But here's the problem. While they're in park, they are finding that some of them, 400,000 of them that are going to be recalled, are going to be checked on this, that they could continue to be rolling forward. That's not good. Kia Telluride owners, heads up to you, 400,000 of them will be recalled. Okay, how many of you are Beyonce fans? How many of you are ready for a Beyonce country album? This is out, and Cowboy Carter, she was given the rights by Dolly Parton to do Jolene. And I heard a little bit of it this morning. Sounds good, by the way. Are you a Beyonce fan? Do you like the fact that she is entering into the country music market? I understand that she teamed up with a handful of artists, including, I think, Miley Cyrus was on there, and a handful of others. I've actually heard a couple of songs from it. I like one in particular. Sounds really, really good. So Cowboy Carter out today from Beyonce. Also today, Six Flags is opening for the season. Now they're going to be doing this obviously on the weekends until they get past Memorial Day. But this is a new roller coaster. I am a huge roller coaster fan. Love roller coasters. Now I haven't really been on one since my car accident. So I'm hoping that I'll still be able to do that. I don't know, because the whipping around in my neck has a tendency to make me dizzy and get a little nauseous. Maybe Dr. Neary can help me understand that and get into that a little bit deeper and see whether I need to stay away from them for the rest of my life. I hope not, because I am such an adrenaline junkie. How about all of you? Are you as well? Rookie Racer, new for 2023 for our Six Flags enthusiasts. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I do have good news for you. The Poplar Street Bridge, the Martin Luther King Bridge, will not be closing this weekend. You remember IDOT is doing some work on those bridges, both of them. And last weekend, the complete closure took place. They're not going to do that this weekend, and that's good because it is a holiday weekend. A lot of people traveling to go see family, and so they are not closing those down. Okay, that's the good news for you. You will be able to go into Illinois eastbound and not have any problems having to get off at Route 3. But then they're going to bring those back because it's 6 weekends of closure. So get ready for that after Easter weekend. Caitlin Clark, who, by the way, is just wowing and constantly in the sports news, she got an invite Olympic invitation, which is super, super cool, but she may not be able to play depending on just how far along Iowa was able to continue their play. So you have to say, the world wants her from an Olympic standpoint, but the Iowa team and all those fans want her as well. But Caitlin, again, setting records left and right. Caitlin, congratulations to you. I think that's super cool. Other sports news, the Blues beat the Flames last night. I went to bed in the end of the second period. They were tied at 3. They ended up pulling out a 5-3 win. And then the Cardinals, unfortunately, losing their opener, not the home opener. That's going to take place next Thursday, but their opener to the Dodgers. 7-1. It's only one game, folks. It's only one game. And I thought it was kind of funny. Somebody said, is that why they sounded the sirens at 3:00 this morning? No, I don't know why. And they're still looking into that. If anybody hears or you've heard since I was watching the news this morning at about 5:00, they didn't know why. But at 3 a.m., sirens went off inside of Busch Stadium. Don't know what that was all about. So let's go back and look at some comments that came in after I went through the news you can use. And we do that a lot, by the way, news you can use. Michelle says, if anybody wants to go to Sicily in October, her mom is planning a big ladies trip. She's been tagging along for a couple of years and they are so fun. She went to Malta with them last year. So you can reach out and I can get you in contact if you're looking for getting out of your comfort zone and joining a group of ladies. Linda, my sister, her husband, and their daughter are planning on France this fall. We will visit my son and tour Normandy. Oh, that'll be cool. Paris and the Loire Valley. That will be awesome. My kid, new driver, has to put a premium gas. Okay, that was the other thing I was going to say. If you have young kids that are buying cars, you may want to try to lead them into a car that does not have premium, that they will be able to get regular unleaded, because that price, and that's what we have to put in my car and my husband's SUV, that premium unleaded for my car is like $65 to fill up the tank. His was $93. And of course, obviously that's nearing the, empty, but it's just so frustrating. So yeah, he has to put premium in his car. It is going to cost a fortune. And that's where suddenly it's like, can parents help? Can grandparents help? I don't know. They struggle. They might have to leave it in the garage for a little while. Beyonce, I love it when artists get out of their genre and mix it up. Michelle likes the idea of this Beyonce album. Yes, of course, always the traffic diva. Have you seen Caitlyn in our commercials? I have not. I haven't seen any. Remember, I don't get in front of the TV a lot, so I don't see a lot of TV stuff. And I know a lot of people say that they don't really watch TV as much anymore. So you'll have to get that to me. How about that? Marilyn, why don't you get me the commercial and I'll play it. And we'll use that as one of our endorsement commercials that we do, because let's just do an extra one. We're going to throw her in one more time this week. Kathy Kilo Peterson, State Farm agent. And Marilyn, of course, works with Kathy. And I know that more and more of you are actually calling that number to find out just how much you can save. And again, we were just talking about automobiles, having to insure that. We just picked up our boat the other day. I've had a boat, since before Jim. So probably about 15 years, 13 to 15 years. I got it so that I could spend some more time. And that's what we're going to talk about in the next half hour, spending more time with my mama, right? So it's what is it? A 18 footer. And we put it on Lake St. Louis. I've taken it out to Branson, Table Rock, made sure that we got that insured right away. And it just allowed me to spend some time with her. I would go out there every Wednesday. Wednesdays was like Monica Day, Monica and Mom Day. And it's just very important that I was able to keep that going. So we went and got it all ready to go for the summer, picked that up yesterday and dropped it off at her house. And then we actually drove by Maryland as we were going down 40, getting past the Winghaven exit. And Jim literally said, wave to Kathy. So Kathy Kilo Peterson, State Farm agent, kkilo.com, 636-561-6460. And when you stop in, you'll see that sign and you'll see that little thing of paper, unless they keep getting it torn off, and then it won't say be kind anymore. It'll just say kind. Don't let anybody tear it down to get beyond the kindness. Also show your pets some love. So when we talk about all the levels that they can do, they even have pet insurance. 636, again, 561 6460, or you can scan that QR code and they can take care of you as well. I love all of you that have called for the simple aspect of saying, okay, can you do what Monica asked, which was look at my policy. And she may say it's not right now to switch over. Maybe you do in a few months, or the thing I love about her is that she may say, hey, this is where you're missing, and you do not want to have this low of coverage. She's really just a kind soul that wants to take care of you. And I love all of you that are supporting, because I said, you got to support those that are supporting us for this show to continue to be around. So yeah, Marilyn, get me that commercial. I would love that. Linda, woot woot for you of I, right? Gas in Illinois is always higher than in Missouri. Exactly, Diane. I can't imagine that. I live in Columbia, Illinois. I always drive over the bridge to get gas in South County. Yep. If I'm ever in Illinois, I make sure that I have enough. When I used to get my hair cut in Illinois years back, my husband would always say, make sure you have enough gas so that when you are leaving, you don't have to get gas in the Illinois area, because it's way higher. And I'm so sorry for all of you that live in Illinois, but come on over to our side. You can give us the money. You're welcome, Marilyn. Rose, asking about family. Yeah, let's actually get into that. I'm going to take a quick break and let's go ahead and move into the topic of the day. I want you to tell me, and let me help you for the next 30 minutes. Are you struggling? If you are, what level? Do you have a strained relationship with your mom, with your dad, with your sisters, with your brothers, with your spouse, with your kids? Well, let's try to eliminate some of that stress, some of that strain, even if we move the needle this much to get you closer to mending that relationship. We've made progress. We need women to lift women up.
Let's do that.
Being on Monica's show, it was like one of the best interviews I've ever had.
Monica's very real, and she really cares about people.
She's changing lives.
Changing lives.
I think this is just really what people want to see.
Giving back so much to the community, and I really appreciate it.
Today, Monica was extraordinarily real, not only with me, but with her viewers and her listeners.
Made the interview process like talking to a friend.
How are you doing? Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a few weeks.
Hey. You're close.
Monica. Whoa.
So go out in this world and be anything you want to be. But before you do that, first, be kind. All right, let's go. We are now into the second half hour where we dig deep into our topics. A lot of times this is when we get really deep into our interviews, when we have guests on, and I will be giving you a rundown of some really cool things that we have coming up next week with regards to interviews and a special Mobile Monica that will take place next Friday. All right, Rose is kicking it off, asking about family. And thank you, by the way. Rose said, I'm being real and raw. And that's exactly what I asked. She said she and her husband got sued by family members over an estate, thinking his mom was worth millions and found out she wasn't, but thought we kept and hid money, left us with extreme lawyer fees. Toxic couple, used to be close to my sister-in-law. She let her husband do this. Husband and I walked away from that relationship. They financially affected our lives. I forgave them, but they are no longer our family. My pastor helps me mentally get through it. Oh, wow. So let's just talk about that aspect. You just gave me a chill. I don't know if a lot of you understand. And maybe this is actually, if you have some connection to however you were raised, if it was religious based, spiritual based, faith based, whatever it is, this is where I always say, if you don't have faith, I don't know where you turn, especially when you feel like there's nothing around you any longer and everybody's walked away. That's when God's waiting for you. That's when whatever your belief is waiting for you. Turn to that, because in that darkest hour, whatever your belief is will give you a glimmer of hope. Rose, I'm so very sorry that you've had such toxicity within your family. They don't sound like they were meant for you. I'm sorry that you had to go through the financial woes that you went through. However, we have to look at the strength that we have to come out of it. I love that you have your husband, that the two of you were able to lean in on each other, and you have to be thankful for that, because some people have to go through those things alone. I've heard a lot of financial struggles. A lot of people go through that, and this is the thing that's so hard. When someone passes, it should bring you closer together. And if your family was strained, sometimes that's actually what bonds it. And I think my belief is that they watch from above. Sometimes I think families Parents die, and it brings siblings closer together that have been strained for a long time because they come back to the house. They go back through the mementos, the memories. They look through the old pictures. They have estate sales. They're laughing, they're crying, and suddenly they mend their relationship moving forward. And I truly believe that mom and dad look down from heaven and say, we brought them together. In our passing, we brought them together. For the two of you, lean on each other, never leave each other. I'm sorry that you went through all the levels of financial that you had, but you also look at it as, what did we come out? You have to take that. And I hope that your pastor did just that. What did we learn from that? Because that's the only way, when I'm doing my life coaching, I say, so what can we say we learned moving forward? What strength did you find within yourself that you can help others through? I'm sure there's other people that went through the exact same thing. I mean, I know a story personally of someone that still is going through something a decade later where they haven't gone through the estate. But I've watched people turn against each other. I've seen people become so toxic, and it really hardens them against each other, and it makes no sense to me, where they should become softer. They should realize life is ticking away every single second. We are not blessed with the next one sometimes, that you get a phone call of someone that passed away, and it just shocks you. It tears you up, and you say, I always hear life is so precious and life is so short. It is. Why can't you all understand that more and more and more? So why the strain? We're given, well, some of you might get bonus families, but you were born into a family. We can't choose our families. And sometimes I say, maybe they're not meant for you. If you've done everything you possibly can with brothers, sisters, brother-in-laws, sister-in-laws, parents, children, and you really do every single day, fight, just go off on each other, are angry and mean to each other, say horrible things to each other, you've got to work on that. And maybe you do separate and you say, this is not working. We cannot do this together. And I got to work on myself and you need to work on you. And if they don't believe that, then go ahead and let them do what they're doing in their corner, in their little world. And maybe at some point you come back together. If not, at least you can. Maybe you pray for them. You send them positive vibes. You do everything you can. You write little letters. You send texts. You leave a phone call. You leave a message for them. I always say you can only do you, right? You cannot change who they are if they don't want to change. It's kind of like someone when they're looking to lose weight. You can't make them lose weight. You can give them all the tools. I can give you all the tools all day long, but you got to put in the work. So family members, you've got to put in the work. I have talked to someone that I'm coaching right now, and they've got a strain in their relationship. And I said, but would you, and this is the question I'm asking all of you, would you be okay if your father, your mother, your brother, or your sister went to their deathbed and you didn't say anything to them and you let them leave this world and you did not say, I love you. It's okay that we've had a strained relationship, but I don't want you to leave without knowing that I forgive you. Or will you forgive me? Have some kind of a conversation like that would save that, because what you don't want is to ever have a regret. And I don't care if you have had a toxic relationship. If you think something could happen to that person, and you may not get the luxury of having the opportunity for, and I hate to use the word luxury, but being able to say, hey, somebody's sick, we get a chance to go and see them in the hospital, because you do have that chance. You get to make the choice to go and visit them in the nursing home, whatever it may be, to say, and again, you might surprise the heck out of them because you may not have talked for years, but you make the decision today, this weekend, next week, whenever. I would tell you not to put it off though, because you're not promised tomorrow. You're not even promised the rest of today. But if you have some strain, what can you do to try to start chipping away at maybe making it better, and only doing your side of it, bringing some sense of calmness to the strained relationship that you've had? Think about all those things. And I say this to all of you. I know there's some comments coming in. I say this to all of you. I am blessed that I have an incredible relationship with my mother. My dad, of course, as you know, I lost at 24. I have a beautiful relationship with my brothers and my sister and my sister-in-law. If there's any little strain, though, I always want to check in. And if there's toxicity, and there has been, that enter in. I mean, look, I've been through strained relationships. In fact, around the time that my husband and I got married. But I always wanted to say, and I want to do this because we're only given one life. And in the end, you look at the big picture of it all. And if it is one part of the family that's struggling, you've got to think, who is suffering the most? For me, I constantly said, well, it's my mom, because my mom wants her family together at family functions. And if there's one part of it that feels like, no, I don't want to see this person, can you swallow your pride? And can you say, fine, This person can be there. You don't have to go and talk to them. They can be in the room. You've got a big enough house or a hall or wherever you're going. You don't have to talk to the person that brings you toxicity. And if something starts to escalate, let me stress this, if something starts to escalate, you start to feel a fight come on, don't get into it. Don't go toe to toe together. It's not going to go well. Literally say, this isn't working and I am going to walk away, and I need you to honor that I need to walk away from this. If they keep coming at you and attacking you, then maybe you have to leave or you ask them to leave. There's no reason to go toe to toe in a fight, especially around the holidays. Everybody always talks about that, like they laugh about it. Oh, people start drinking and they get into a fight. No, don't let it happen. Make the choice to not be a part of it. And again, I can't talk to the people who want it to happen, because there really are some people who want to go toxic in life. You don't want to be a part of it. I know you don't. You wouldn't watch this show if you wanted to be one of those people that are constantly in the fights in a holiday, or come into it and you feel like you have to drink before because you have to deal with these people. That never goes well at all. It's never going to go well. So if you come into it already angry and you add alcohol to it, it's just going to go, as you all know, level up. And it's going to bring toxicity and drama to the whole situation. So think about it. You're going into a holiday weekend. You're going to get together with friends. This isn't usually one of the big ones where you see a lot of fights. It's usually going into Thanksgiving and going into Christmas. And you see big arguments, unfortunately. I'm asking you to change. This year, make the change. Or again, people don't like the word change. Make the shift. Make this different. If you ever have had a big argument as you go into Easter weekend, again, I keep stressing, think about what the weekend's about. Forgiveness. He has risen, right? What did he do for us to have a better life? Okay, that's all the things that I wanted to say about that. Let's see what you're all saying. Thank you, all your viewers that allow us to take care of them. Marilyn, of course, they trust you, because anything that comes out of my mouth, I say you can always trust. Good morning to Sally on MSE for Women. Marilyn, my brother, sister-in-law, and sister are close. They were just at my home on Sunday for dinner and cards. This is a monthly event since life at our age is so precious. Every age, right? Doesn't matter what age you're at, whether you are a young child, whether you are in 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 80s, all the way up. Every single day is a blessing for every age, because there are young kids that leave this world way too early. We just never know. I just wish you all would wrap your brain around how precious life is. And it's what I'm trying to get at it on this show. Let's see. At our age is so precious, and I'm the youngest. Then the Galati cousins get together every other month. Unfortunately, so many cousins miss out this time with our extended family. We all have a great time. Reunion is annual with bocce ball, lots of hugs, lots of food, lots of laughter. We need more laughter, right? Smiling in life. We need more hugs. I agree with that. My mom always says you need 14 hugs a day. Marilyn also says she's blessed with a plethora of friends and classmates and neighbors, and of course, the incredible, amazing team she works with. You should always have someone that likes to plan the gatherings. Yes, and don't take offense if you are the planner, because sometimes it's just your role in life. Life does not just happen. You have to make it. Lindsay, what can we do to truly forgive for our own sake? I have amazing relationships, but some family members have really hurt me. Okay, we have all moved forward, but I still hold on to resentment. I'm going to ask you how that serves you, Lindsay. How does holding on to pain help you move forward? I try so hard to let go for my own sake. I replay what they did to me in my head, and it is not good for me or my close family members. How do we let go and truly forgive? I love that you asked me this, because this is what happened. Okay, and this story has been told before. I'm not going to put the names of the people in it, because that's not what matters. What matters is that we went through this, and it was strained, and it was strained up to the day of our wedding. And I made the choice to say, not today. This isn't happening. My big brother actually stepped in and said, this isn't happening. You will not ruin Monica and Jim's wedding. And what happened after that, Lindsay, was very, very powerful and very pivotal in the relationships moving forward. I made sure that I stayed away from the person who was causing the drama and the pain. And as we went into the holiday weekend, it blew up. We obviously were going to be around each other. I hated that it happened. I hated that happened. I hated that I was allowed to be brought to a point of an actual shouting match. After that, I said, we can't be around each other. I made sure of that. And then I came back and said, we're going to have to. We're going to have to be around each other, because I don't want my mother suffering. But here's what we're going to do. I don't need to be in, as I just said earlier, I don't need to be around this particular person. I don't need to be in the same room. I can go to a different room. It's exactly what I did, until I felt that I really was going to be good and healed by the way this person was lashing out at me and multiple people, by the way, in our family. And then it kind of came up again, and that same person kept doing it to other people. And I finally said, I'm going to pray for her. I'm going to say that at some point this is going to get better. And if it doesn't, we will just make the time limited, but we will be cordial. And that's exactly what my husband and I chose to do. We will be cordial. We're never going to be best friends because I just don't trust. If there's a lot of healing that takes place, if there's a lot of shifting and changes that take place on behalf of that particular person, then maybe. But one of the things that my mom and I both chose to do was say, we will be around. If that person drinks too much, I will not, because that's when you see all types of levels come out in a person. Well, let's just say, you know where I'm going with that. Okay. So there's things that happen when a person is not okay working on these two things. They're not okay mentally, spiritually, soulfully. You hope that they work on themselves as much as you're working on yourself. So what we decided to do was, let's be cordial. And I have asked this person around because I don't want that person to be left out because they're associated with someone that I am related to. However, there's another person close in our family that will not let this person around, will not let that person in their home. And the reason why, he feels that we've all let that person off the hook. He's got to do him, right? He's got to live his life. And I can't tell him what to do. My sister-in-law tries to continuously say that she agrees with me that, she wishes he would let it go, but he doesn't want to. He's not ready. And we all have to do things in our own time, Lindsay and everybody else. But I look at my mom and I say that she's the one that struggles. Because why? Because in the end, she wants everybody together. And if it's at her house, it's her choice to invite who she wants to. If it's at our house, it's our choice. He has the choice, though, to say that person's not allowed in his home. And I get that. You have to follow your path. I just hope that the path brings you to mending, brings you to heal the heart. But do not, please, and I hate to use do not because it's a control phrase. How about this? I ask that, I'll reword this. As a counselor and a life coach, this is how we do it. I will ask that you find a way to live harmoniously. And that does not mean that you have to be best friends with this person. That does not mean that you have to text and call and say everything's great. I ask that you find your way to forgiveness, not forget. That's important. Find your way to forgiveness, but you'll never forget because you have to remember the pain that you walked through. That's where you find your strength. But I need you to journal and ask your question, which is, how is this serving you moving forward? Holding on to the pain of someone else hurting you, how is it serving you? Every second, right, Lindsay, and everybody else, you're looking to live your best life. So holding on to resentment and pain is wasting your precious energy for you to move forward and for you to heal. Don't give them power. Do not let them have one more second of power over you. They hurt you. It's their own demons. It's their own insecurities. It's their own jealousies, whatever they lashed out and did to you. But if you allow them every day or week or every, so often pop back up of, they hurt me. No, I know it's hard for me to say this to you, but you're allowing the hurt to happen. You're allowing it to continue, by the way. They did it in the very moment. It stung, it hurt, maybe it really, really hurt. But if you allow it moving forward, you're allowing the pain to continue to take place. And I'm not telling you that you're going to snap your fingers and it's going to be like it never happened, but I'm asking you to start working on how does life look by starting to let go a little more and finding your way to forgiveness. I have a 21-year-old that I have been coaching for the last 7 months. And boy, has she been through a lot with her father, actually. Some really horrible things that he did. They went through court and a lot of things, and he's not a part of their life. He had a chance, by the way. They just gave him a chance after 4 years. They went and saw him. She and her siblings and their mom, his ex-wife. And I prayed so hard of hoping that that was going to go well and that person, the dad, would have learned from his mistakes and knew that he was being given an unbelievable opportunity to mend and maybe have a relationship with his children moving forward. And he had the audacity to drink beforehand and to continue to drink during that dinner. And they saw that that was probably their goodbye because he didn't see the importance. I literally, almost a mockery, he didn't see the importance of what that night could have been. Now, I did say this to her, though, and I said, I have to truly believe no person ever on this earth is ever born and wants to be hate-filled, wants to do horrible things. There's something in their life that took them on that path, and when it comes to drugs and alcohol or whatever the addiction may be, it's a disease. And I hope someday that person and many other people that are doing wrong in life get help. Because it really is a disease. And I told her, it's not your father, it's the alcohol. And she understands that. And she has written a letter, never given to him. I wrote the letter. I walked her through writing the letter to find forgiveness. And she has become like a baby sister to me. And it means the world to me. She's like, Monica, I don't know what my life would be like if you hadn't come into it. Do you understand what that means? That God gave me that blessing to be put into her life and to change her life so profoundly over the last 6 to 7 months. I don't take that lightly. Trust me, I do not take that lightly. And I am counseling and coaching her and her mom right now. And the transformation the two of them have had, whoo, unbelievable. They cried a lot in our beginning sessions. That's not the case anymore. They literally come on, and what he saw in them, they actually all asked, like, you guys look different. And they said, yeah, we got a little Monica in our life. And they're like, what do you mean by that? And she said, she helps us journal. She has literally helped us turn our life around. So when I tell you I'm here to help you in life coaching, that's what I do. It's really the path that I was meant to walk. It has become a big part of why I walked away in TV. I couldn't do the sessions and sessions and sessions that I'm doing when I was in television. I wouldn't have had the time. I am devoting my soul and my spirit and the blessings that God gives me. And I asked that. I woke up, my prayer today was, let me say the right things that will help heal some of the pain that people are going through right now. Let me say the right things that will move you forward and take that needle and push it right over here, because this is all forward momentum. And that's all we're ever looking for. Lisa said, when my dad passed March of 19, my brothers and what they did has been nearly unforgivable. And I practice forgiveness and practice turning it all over to God. There it is. I understand the pain is real. Everyone that is giving me your stories, everyone who's going to watch this later, I know the pain's real. We've all had a walk of life. Some people are way up here and it just feels like the hits keep coming and coming and coming. And you question faith sometimes, don't you? Be honest. You're like, how much more can you give me? And you've heard the story that God only gives you the amount that he knows you can handle, because he knows you're strong and he makes you stronger. And I hate that you have to go through some of the things you have to go through, the loss and the pain, and some really, really hard paths that people have been on. I mean, really, really hard paths. But it's not to say this is worse than this person's, right? Everybody, no matter what your feeling is, we're not going to do this is mine's worse than yours. It's not that. That's petty. You feel hurt by this, then you feel hurt. You feel hurt by this, you feel hurt. It's sharing those together and being able to speak your truth. Don't hold it in. That's one of the most dangerous things. You can physically make yourself very, very ill. I mean, literally, there are stories and there are studies that have shown that people can bring some serious health ailments to themselves by holding on to pain and not speaking. If you believe in the eastern side of medicine, the meridian points and the energy blockage, you block things in and people find out they're stricken with cancer, and they come back, and if their belief on the holistic, functional, natural side of medicine is, and that's where I think Western and Eastern cultural medicine need to come together. Yes, people have cancer, and then suddenly they're told they have to go through chemotherapy or radiation, but they also do their energy work at the same time. I like that marriage of the two. Julie says, I'm having breakfast with a family member I haven't talked to in 5+ years. There's the chill. There's the beautiful side. Julie, and that's my hope for each and every person that hasn't seen anybody that's in their family for years and years and years. What I'm saying is, do you think you'd be okay with getting a phone call that your parents or your siblings are gone and that you never got a chance to mend the fences? You never got a chance to mend the soul. Are you okay with that? If you can honestly say, and I mean 100% say, yes, I'm done. I don't want anything to do with that person. And you're okay with that, then okay. Then own that. But if you have even a percentage, a thread of saying, wow, no, I would not want to be told my father, my mother, my brother, my sister, sister-in-law, brother-in-law, my children are on their deathbed and that I'm just going to let them leave. If you're not okay with that, I'm asking you to do what you can do, even if it's your part, and maybe you never get a chance to actually speak to them. I love actual communication, but maybe you send a message that says, I know we've had a strained relationship for a year, 5 years, 10 years, 30 years, but I want you to know I love you. And I need to say these things. They may never respond and be okay. Don't go and wait and look for the answer and the answer. Just say what you want to say and be okay with it and let that pain go. Find your way to forgiveness. I can't say it enough. Find your way to forgiveness. It's a very powerful step to take. Rose, I still love my sister-in-law. We were close, but what they did was devastating. I pray for both of them. Yep, that's all we can do. He is evil, and I pray God softens his heart. She's missing out on my kids' lives, and I know she's sad about it. I know, Monica, you believe in mending the family, but it won't happen. If I ever see her, I'll be cordial. That's all I can ask. You're absolutely right, but it doesn't have to be the same. There could be a rebirth, though. You never know. You never know. I've seen some incredible turnarounds, incredible transformations of people that just finally get it. We have to pray. Let's all do that, by the way, as we go into Easter weekend. Let's pray for Rosa's brother and sister-in-law to have a unbelievable shift in life, that they get what they did and that they find their way to say, I'm sorry, and mend her broken heart. You're welcome, Lindsay. I love your advice. I will ask, how does this serve me? Yes. And then chip away at it, Lindsay. Chip away at it, because I said it doesn't just happen overnight. As you ask yourself that question, your columns will get bigger and bigger and bigger as you journal, because a lot of times that answer, by the way, comes from the mental side. And then I tell everybody that I coach, go back, and we're not done with that question. I want you this week to answer that question from your soul this time, because a lot of times the answer comes from the mental side, and it happens so quick. People fill in the blank and then they move on. And I'm like, okay, whoa, we're not done. Go back to that answer again. So by the way, when I talk about the life coaching, and some people say, okay, I can't afford an actual life coach, but I'd like to come to maybe a session with the community. That's what Cultivating a Vision is about. And by the way, the ticket prices are going to go up after today. Cultivating a Vision is April 3rd. It's next week, Wednesday already, 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Central Time, 7 to 8:30 Eastern. And I say that because we have Kasia Sitars, who joins me. We have 2 coaches in one night. It's a very powerful night. And Lindsay, by the way, I know you signed up already, and there's a handful of others that have done so. If you haven't, don't wait for ticket prices to go up again. And if you have any children that are suffering, and a lot of them are in our world right now with depression and mental health and PTSD, bring them to the session, because they're free, 18 and under. Even if they're in the room and even in an earshot, that they hear something that's going to help them. Trust me, I have people ask me, would you by chance take on my child? Can you life coach kids? The answer, of course, is yes. Everyone, I want to help the world. So I say this to you, don't let it go by. One more day, because the ticket prices go up on Saturday. It is Cultivating a Vision. You're going to be with us. It's virtual, 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Don't let this one go by you. There has been a 1, a 2, and a 3. That does not mean you had to have come to 1 and 2 and 3. I say this all the time. But I do have those recordings. If you want them and you want to watch them and you want to feel your soul and kind of get an idea of how the night goes, you can purchase those for $10. You may not even ever come to the live session and you need to go to those. That's fine. $10 for the sessions. So if you want session 1, 2, 3, $30 for all 3 of them. And then the live night, you get to interact with us. We really do a lot of unpacking and a lot of vision board setting. Kasia will take on her role. My role is all about rebirth, springing forward, right? We think about the season that we're in right now. It's a whole rebirth. How can we shed our old skin and become the version that we wanted to become our whole lives? That's what this will be for my version of Cultivating a Vision. We continue more of how do you get clarity of mind and the meditation and learning breathing. And when there are problems like you see in families and friends, how do you find your way to forgive? How do you find your way to calm the mind, calm the spirit? All of that will take place. Terry is forgiving, not forgetting. I've had many struggles. You don't forget, but you don't let it be on the top of the mind. And the more you forgive, you start to actually forget the pain. And all of a sudden it becomes a part of, did that really happen? I mean, look, it's been almost 9 years since the hardest part of what we walked through with this particular family member. I don't think about it at all. And when I see that person, it doesn't bring back the tension and the feelings I used to have. I used to be in the same room with that particular person and it made me sick to my stomach. Not anymore. In fact, I now welcome her into my home and hope that everything goes well. And if it starts to feel like it doesn't, I say, oh, and that actually happened. There was like a little escalation and I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go and we're all going to be good. And I'm going to pray for you. And that's how it went. And that person can continue to do this. That doesn't mean that you have to allow the words to come into you. And that's how the path starts to walk. I pray for that person regularly. I want that person. I want that person, by the way, and so do you. I can guarantee you, want that person to heal. I want that person to find calmness and kindness within their heart and soul. I want every person who's struggling in life, and that's what my mission is, to find their way to a healthy, happy heart, soul, and mind. I mean that. Let's see. Lindsay, I cannot wait. Yep, she's coming to that. Bad stuff is like cancer. Hard for me to understand the behavior and the anger as they point a finger. 3 of them point back to them. That's right. Why it just hurts. I was with my grade school friend and her daughter-in-law has put the wedge there. Such a shame. We have to walk our way away from shame. We are all human beings and come to the table with stuff. Yep. And I just said we got to unpack that stuff, right? Let it go. Truly enjoy the light inside of each of us. Yes, Rose, I dedicate my rosary to your family today. Beautiful community we have here. And we'll light a candle at Easter Mass. Lisa, you get tickets by going to TheRealMonicaAdams.com. Go to my website, and it's under the events, the calendar that we have. You'll click on the calendar for April 3rd and actually click on the word once you're in that Cultivating a Vision, and it brings up for you to purchase tickets, but buy them today. Monica has a divine gift, but your tickets, this is truly a gift for yourself. Buy your tickets. This is truly a gift for yourself. Yes. That's right. I love that. Lindsay, gift that to yourself. Crystal said she got her ticket, got a friend of mine to join as well. We're both so excited for it. Crystal, thank you. It's just like what we say that we put on the banner. Share, like, follow not only the live stream, but all the events that we have. And yes, Lindsay, thank you so much. She said hi to Lisa. Yes, because they met at the retreat. So let me tell you about some things that are coming up. By the way, if you didn't get a chance to listen to our audio yesterday, our audio podcast drops every Thursday at 8 a.m. That one, by the way, is all about stronger together. That's really the mission of what we're talking about today, whether it's families or whether it's friends. Stronger together. And we talk all about that. So Sherry Jost was one of our guests, and you can hear that on all of the audio podcast platforms. So we have a podcast besides the talk show, and that drops on Thursday. Monday is Medical Monday. We'll be talking with Dr. Sean Neary again about the posture aspect and what that does to ourselves. We also have our wonderful Dr. Sarah Franco with Invita Health and Wellness. And let me tell you something. Before I wrap up today, how many of you have done IPL treatments? Because that's one of the many services that they do at Invita. I was actually going to do that today, but I have a dinner and a speaking engagement that I have this weekend. So we said, let's kind of hold off because I don't want to go into it because I've had people that have had it done. They said you kind of look like you're sunburned, or it brings out some of the stuff to the surface that then kind of like peels off. So if you've got sun damage, if you've got aging spots, brown spots, etc., it's supposed to just like have this rebirth, kind of like what we're talking about going into spring. And after like a couple of weeks, it makes your skin feel, what I'm told, like a baby's butt. But I told her, how about we hold off on that particular one? I've had a hydrofacial from Jamie at Invita Health and Wellness that I absolutely love. She's so good. Have you ever had one of those? If you haven't, you should go into her for that. I asked her, how about the NAD plus? She said, I can come in. She just wrote, you could come to do that if you want. So NAD plus is supposed to be this whole anti-aging thing that all the celebrities are doing. So are you aware of all the levels of things that they can do at Invita, besides the fact that they're helping people with mental health and stress and PTSD with ketamine treatments? I mean, it goes levels and levels. They do vein removal. They do dermaplaning. They do microdermabrasion, all these things to take care of the body in and out. Okay, Lindsay said, I've done IPL. I loved it. It's a quick turnaround. Lindsay, tell me though, what does it bring to the surface and how many days? Because I'm on TV or video on a regular basis. So I just need to wrap my brain around that. This is Zoom, Lisa. Yes. Are you going today later with Sally? Yeah, I can't go to that, unfortunately. She's getting people together. They're going to Bike Stop. I love that. They're going to Bike Stop later this afternoon. Continuing to support. If you didn't see yesterday's Mobile Monica, it's really, really a good one. Tuesday, I'm so looking forward to this. You know that we have formed this wonderful community, and so many of you get a chance to know each other just from writing. Richard Melching is going to be on with us, and we're going to talk about Dude's Playground and the way he continues to give back to disabled veterans, anyone suffering with mental health. They do this wonderful fishing out there. The acreage, the place looks absolutely gorgeous. So Dude's Playground, and Richard will be with us, and I think he's going to be bringing in some other people with him as well. That'll be on Tuesday. And are you ready for this? We just booked her. Abby Stahlschmidt, if you follow her on Instagram or Facebook, she's going to be my guest on Wednesday, and she's going to be breaking news on our show with a huge announcement. I'm serious with this. You do not want to miss the announcement because there's going to be some tickets that you're going to want to purchase immediately for this. And I'm giving away 2 tickets for what she's going to announce. I'm not going to say the announcement. I'm going to let that be for her, but it has been 4 years in the making for this announcement that she's going to have on Wednesday. We have Positive Talk Time on Thursday with Jessica Cook, and that'll be at Yuppie Puppy Pet Spa in Cowdleville. That's, of course, where they have Yuppie Puppies Forever Rescue. Can't wait to see what new dog we're going to be featuring, and that will be up for adoption. And then Friday, I love this, we are going to do Mobile Monica at Orange Theory in Fenton. And it's not just any Orange Theory location. It's a location that someone in the community felt, I do not want these doors to close. She had it within herself. She had the vision and the fortitude to say, all right, I'm saving this place. And it wasn't even her background. I just love this story. I can't wait to sit down with her. Laura Kohler will be my guest. And we'll be talking about the steps that she went through. What an amazing woman to be able to keep the 100, 200 plus people from not having the doors closed, because that's what was going to happen. She's going to put me through some of the things that they do. So if you've ever done Orange Theory, you know what I'm going to be put through. I don't. I know that they do some treadmill. I know they do some lifting, and I know they do some rowing, but I'm going to do a little bit of it to showcase. So she'll put me through that, or somebody's going to put me through that. And then we'll just talk about how you can be a part of that community. Really, it is building the community up. And I want us to do that, continue to do that. Let's see. Love you too, Donna. You are uplifting and inspiring. I'm going to try this in my life. Thank you, by the way. And Donna, continue to tell people to watch the show every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m., watching on multiple platforms. Did you know right now we are on Facebook, we are on YouTube, we are on Instagram, we are on X, and we are on Rumble. It looks like we have 86 of you on right now. Brings tiny little brown spots, but they look like small freckles, and they go away after about a week. It's minimal. You will still see tiny speckles with makeup, but it doesn't really look bad, just a little freckled. Okay, so about a week I should expect. Maybe I should do that if I have some time off. Well, and you have to make sure you take care of your skin, I know also. We should be doing that anyway with SPF. And I think the big wake-up call was when Sarah told us that if it's SPF 15, that means you should be reapplying after 15 minutes. SPF 30 after 30, 50 after 50. Not put the SPF on and just think you can spend hours and hours and hours outside. The other aspect that I've heard from a lot of dermatologists is when you're driving and you've got that sun beating in through the window, what it's still doing to our skin. So I make sure that I have SPF in my makeup and on like in a primer before I ever go out. Think about that. Gotta go. Everyone be blessed and a beautiful Easter. Yes. Dudes Playground. Can't wait to have you. And anybody else? Let's see. Bless you, Leona. Blessed Easter to Kathy. You can still be on the show. You will look beautiful no matter what. All right. Thank you. I will do that. All right. But I do have a speaking engagement, so I didn't want that to be the case this weekend. I was told you also look sunburned, so I don't want people to be like, what the heck's going on? I mean, I know I love to be the real side of me, but I don't feel like filtering through all those questions. So I'm going to go to the NAD+. How about that? Because I think that's supposed to be really, really cool. I'm going to do that with Invita, and I'm going to talk firsthand about that on Monday. What I really want moving forward with our wonderful partnership with Invita Health and Wellness is that I can speak firsthand more and more and more about the things that they do there. I've had a hydrofacial. I've done the semi-glutide because I want to make sure that I don't walk the path of diabetes, which is the genes that are all at me. And you heard Sarah say, I really think this would be good for you. Okay. I want to make sure that we keep my blood sugars and everything where they belong. And then I want to now start doing these other things that she has. So if you don't know about them, listen up. Invita Health and Wellness, where you can feel your best both inside and out. Invita isn't your typical med spa. They're a multi-specialty medical spa and wellness center serving St. Louis and its surrounding areas. They have ketamine for mental health and pain, IV therapy, medical weight loss, and aesthetics treatments. As board-certified anesthesia providers, Invita can ensure that their advanced treatments are provided safely with minimal to no pain. So let Invita take care of you. Call 314-394-0950 to book an appointment or online invitahealthandwellness.com. And we love her so much. Thank you to Dr. Sarah Franco. She believed in the show from day one and has been our title sponsor. She is the one that we named the studio after. So it's our Invita Health and Wellness Studios. I want to remind you, if you know someone that wants to be a part of our show, we want to thank our growing list of sponsors. So look across the screen here because it is growing and growing and growing. Invita Health and Wellness, you just heard from. Kathy Kilo-Peterson, we talked about earlier. State Farm. Yuppie Puppy Pet Spa with our Positive Talk Time. We have Defiance Ridge Ridge Vineyards, and every Wednesday, our Wet Your Whistle Wednesday. Watch those. If there's anything you want us to talk about or do in those, let us know. And then Mid-America Spine and Rehab, our newest on our Medical Monday Ask the Doctor segment. I include in those everybody that I'm gushing about all the people that are regular sponsors as well as people who book us for Mobile Monica. So thank you to Dr. Jody Devonshire with Bike Stop Cafe, who had us yesterday. Thank you to Laura Kohler, who has us coming to Orange Theory in Fenton next Friday. Thank you to the Artisan Market that's having me come on Mother's Day. That is going to be, I call it the Panteras parking lot in O'Fallon, right there off of Highway K, or the Stroco parking lot. That's going to be a farmer and artisans market. They're actually kicking that off in May, and they'll go into fall. We're going to be there from 10 to noon on Mother's Day. So come spend Mother's Day with us. My mom and I will be there. It's going to be a lot of fun. We've got motivational speaking engagements. We've got MC work and auctioneering work that's getting booked for us. So more and more people now are knowing that we are out in the community. So Lindsay just sent me a text. Let me answer this before I say goodbye. Is your show next Friday during a class, or can people come to watch? It's my birthday and I would love to go. I believe, Lindsay, you could probably come and do the class. They've got a 6:15 class, I'm told, and I think an 8:15 class. She's talking about maybe doing a 30-minute pop-up, but I'll talk with Laura. We'll continue to pass that information along. I'd love to spend your birthday together. I'd love to see you. That would be awesome. So yeah, I think it'd be really cool to get some of the community out there and try it out. Maybe do a day class. Maybe they can do that as well. I just want to say happy Easter once again, like I said at the very beginning of the show, to each and every one of you. And I do mean this from the bottom of my heart, that I hope that this Easter can be a very healing one for you. I pray that that walk of healing starts. If you're in a really great place, understand just how blessed and how thankful you should be, and keep it going, even when there's a little strain that feels like it happens in life. You'd love to do the class too, Lisa? Okay. So anybody else, let's all celebrate Lindsay's birthday together. I'll find out from Laura if you can do like a day pass, which I'm sure you probably can. And then maybe you look into different memberships and you can go to different Orange Theories. I've never done it, but I think it should be a lot of fun. So Lisa and Lindsay, we'll see you next Friday, and anybody else that wants to join as well. We'll be dropping more information as we go into next week. If I find out any more about it, be looking on my socials, because I'll drop in some information in a post or a reel or a story about that as well. Everybody, happy Great Friday, because I'm going to call it a great one, to each and every one of you. Have a blessed one. Enjoy the beautiful weather that Beckett gave us. Have a wonderful Easter weekend. Relax, have the balance of life, and come back with us on Monday and continue to show up. I'll show up for you. I want you to be there as well. And remember what I always say, be kind. God bless you all.